All right, so let's talk about this hand real quick. This is kind of confusing, and you got to try following this. Basically, what happened was DeSantis here, he ended up raising. You can tell he's a very wrecked player. Margetts ends up 3-betting, and he ends up calling. The flop comes Queen 10-9. Let me go ahead and push play here. So basically, I went bet and call, which it makes sense, right? And then he checks again, and I would call a second pair here too, of course. She could just be stabbing with anything. And the turn comes, and she bets again. And basically, when she bets again here, it's really hard. I mean, the announcer here, Jared, makes a good point. It's really hard to hold on here. She could have a queen. She could have pocket jacks. She could have king jack. And if she has some double barreling cards, let's say a lot of double barrels would be something like ace king of clubs, ace jack of clubs. And it's worth noting that DeSantis has the ace of clubs. So if I'm DeSantis, I'm sitting here thinking, well, she could be double barreling with clubs, but I have the ace of clubs. And if she's 3-betting, that's a lot of her double barrel range is something with the ace of clubs in it. I have the ace of clubs. So she can't have the ace of clubs. So that would make me think she's more inclined to have more value than a bluff. So for that reason, because a lot of other things would beat me, I would just go ahead and fold. Now, worth noting here is the fact that this DeSantis guy takes forever and a day, counting out chips, stacking them up. You'll see him crane his neck back and go, deciding. I don't know what to do. And he makes it real obvious to Leo Margetts that he's weak. And that's an important point to note out. Like, if he didn't look so damn weak, it's possible that she doesn't stab on the river because he could easily have a 9 himself, that he's not folding. He could have 10-9. He could have queen 9 even, maybe. Unlikely, but he could have a lot of hands that beat her that are not folding. But he makes it so obvious. Guys, you got to work on your tells here. He makes it so freaking obvious that he has bupkis and a very weak hand that if I see this myself, I'm probably unloading the clip myself on the river like she does because it's just so obvious that he's so weak. So anyway, let's fast forward this because this guy takes forever and a day to decide what he's doing. And when you take this long, it's pretty obvious that you're weak. Now, the river comes an ace. And DeSantis goes ahead and he bets out about a third pot size for value. I don't like this bet because all the way along, Margetts has been repping that she has a big hand, like, a straight. She could have pocket aces, she could have pocket queens, she could have pocket tens. There's a lot of those types of hands that 3-bet and bet all the way across. So what are you hoping to get? I mean, if you bet here, right? If you bet here, what's you're getting? Hopefully, getting called by ace king. But is she betting ace king on the turn? The only ace king she's betting on the turn is the ace king of clubs. You have the ace of clubs, so she's really polarized, right? So honestly, myself here, if I'm DeSantis, I think, well, if she's bluffing, the best plan of action here is to check and let her keep bluffing. If you think she's bluffing, if you think she's possibly bluffing, and that's the only reason to call the turn to begin with. On the river, he bets, hoping to get called by what, I don't know, because you block ace 10. I don't know, you have the ace of clubs. And basically Margetts sees that he's weak. She doesn't think he has a hand as strong as ace 10, obviously. So if I'm Margetts here, I don't know if I turn my hand into a bluff, though, because, I mean, on paper, I don't turn my hand into a bluff because I'm thinking, well, only better's calling me, right? If I raise, he's I don't think better's folding. I mean, better's calling. I mean, if he checks and I bet, you got to figure he's calling with ace 10, he's calling with ace king, he's calling with ace queen. But the thing is he let on that he was really weak on the turn. So that's why I think she decided to go ahead and stab here. And then you're DeSantis, and you're like, That's why you got to know why you're betting. Why are you betting? To get worse to call. Is worse calling? I don't think so. I don't think she has a lot worse in her range as calling. And I think if I'm Leo, I turn around and I probably just call and end up losing the pot, because if I raise, I don't see. I only see like hands that beat me calling, right? And you have a lot of showdown value with top pair. I mean, you know he's not folding 10-9, Queen 9. Probably even. I mean, he could have. He's not calling with King Queen. That's why if you're raising all in. If you're Leo and you're raising, what do you hope to get called by? Only better's really calling you, right? That's why I don't like the raise from Leo either. Because if you raise, what's calling you? Only hands that beat you. I mean, the guy folded ace 10. So I don't think anything worse is calling you. So if I'm her, I might just call because he looked real weak on the turn. I don't think I shove because I think only better is calling. So I don't like anybody's play, honestly. I don't like Leo's jam. I don't like his bet. I don't like Leo's jam. And now you're in DeSantis's place, like throwing up in your mouth saying, well, shit, why did I bet? Well, yeah, exactly. Why did you bet? You know, I think you need to just check call there is the best play if you're DeSantis. Not Leo, but like DeSantis. If you're DeSantis, I think you need to check call. And if you're Leo, I think you need to just call. And he put himself in a bad spot by betting the river, because now that he gets raised on, he has to end up folding the best hand. So, to be honest, I don't like anybody's play. I think people are just betting, not thinking about the old montage of poker, which is worse calling. And I think all these bets, only better is calling. And I think Leo's really lucky that he didn't call, because a lot of rec players, and he's obviously a rec player, would call with ace 10 here. Yeah. And I like I said, I don't like his bet because I think only better is calling. All these bets are only better is calling, which it worked out for Leo. I don't like it. And if DeSantis had just check call, it would have worked out a lot better for him. So, yeah, I don't like how anybody played any of these hands, but there's my 2 cents.